The sistrum was one of the most sacred musical instruments in ancient Egypt, revered not only for its melodic qualities, but also for its powerful magical properties. This percussion instrument played a crucial role in the worship of Hathor, the goddess of joy, festivity, fertility, eroticism, and dance. The sistrum's gentle, rhythmic shaking was believed to avert the flooding of the Nile, a phenomenon vital for the survival and prosperity of Egyptian agriculture. Additionally, it was used to frighten away Seth, the god of the desert, storms, disorder, and violence. Isis, in her role as the nurturing mother and creator, was often depicted holding a pail, symbolizing the inundation of the Nile in one hand and the sistrum in the other. The instrument was designed to mimic the sound of the breeze rustling through papyrus reeds, yet its symbolic significance far surpassed its function as a mere musical tool. Hathor, goddess of joy and motherhood. Near the Nile, ancient Greek historian Plutarch provides insight into the sistrum's powerful role in his essay on Isis and Osiris. He wrote, "The sistrum makes it clear that all things in existence need to be shaken, or rattled about, and never to cease from motion, but, as it were, to be woken up and agitated when they grow drowsy and torpid. They say that they avert and repel Typhon by means of the sistrums, indicating thereby that when destruction constricts and checks nature, generation releases and arouses it by means of motion." Plutarch, Moralia, Book 5, on Isis and Osiris, Section 63. The sistrum consisted of a handle and a frame made from various materials, including brass, bronze, wood, or clay. When shaken, the small rings or loops of thin metal on its movable crossbars produced sounds ranging from a soft rattle to a loud jangling. Its basic shape resembled the ankh, the Egyptian symbol of life, imbuing it with additional hieroglyphic significance. Archaeological records have revealed two distinct types of sistrum: Egyptian Elysium, connecting the realms of the living and the dead in the Greco-Roman period. The oldest variety is the naos-shaped sistrum, named after the inner chamber of a temple housing a cult figure. The handle often depicted the head of Hathor, and cow horns were commonly integrated into the design, reflecting Hathor's depiction as a cow goddess. This type, known as the naos sistrum, or sesheshet, an onomatopoeic term, dates back to at least the Old Kingdom, 3rd millennium BC. In ancient Egyptian art, the sesheshet sistrum was frequently shown being carried by women of high rank, emphasizing its significance and sacred nature. During the Greco-Roman period, a second type of sistrum became prevalent. Known as the sekhem or sekhem, this sistrum featured a simpler, hoop-like frame, typically made from metal. The sekhem resembled a closed horseshoe with a long handle and loose metal crossbars above the Hathor head. This design was likely chosen for its practical use in rituals and ceremonies, where the sistrum's ease of shaking and sound production were essential. The realities of daily life for common people in ancient Egypt versus ancient Rome. In ancient Egypt, the sistrum was not only used in the musical worship of several deities, including Amon, Bastet, and Isis, but it was especially associated with the worship of Hathor. The sistrum was integral to rituals, dances, and celebrations honoring Hathor, and seems to have carried erotic or fertility connotations, aligning with Hathor's mythological attributes. As a result, the sistrum also became a symbol of her son Ihi, often depicted as the archetypal sistrum player. What on earth is the sacred symbol of the Djed pillar? The use of the sistrum persisted in Egypt well after the rule of the pharaohs. Rome's conquest of Egypt in 30 BC, following the deaths of Cleopatra and Mark Antony, spread the cult of Isis throughout the Mediterranean and the Roman world. The heads of Hathor were interpreted as Isis and Nephthys, representing life and death, respectively. Marble statues of Isis, such as one found at Hadrian's villa, often depict the goddess holding a situla and sistrum, underscoring their ritual importance. Nefertari, wife of Ramesses II, holding a sekhem-type sistrum. The worship of Isis became exceedingly popular during the Greco-Roman period, and the sistrum became inextricably linked to her. Temples dedicated to Isis were constructed in every major city, the largest and most richly decorated being in Rome, near the Pantheon. These temples and their surrounding porticos were adorned with beautiful wall paintings, some depicting priests or attendants holding a sistrum. In Greek culture, not all sistra were intended to be played. Instead, they often served purely symbolic functions, used in sacrifices, festivals, and funerary contexts, Clay versions of sistra may also have been used as children's toys. Today, sistra remain in use in the rites of the Coptic and Ethiopian churches.